do want to ask a favor though, and ask you to silence your cell phones, please, and hold any questions that you may have till the end, and we'll be glad to answer any questions that we have, okay? What I would like to do now is tell you just a little bit about myself. My name is Jennifer Boney. This is my husband here in the front row. And we've been in this business for about 2 years. And this is the simplest business that we have ever been involved with. We've run multiple businesses together and apart. And we've also both worked full-time jobs. And we're trying to rectify that. We don't want to work full-time jobs anymore. So what I'd like to tell you about myself is we do farming, we do ranching, we also do, we were doing dirt work. We had to stop that because that was way too much overhead and way too much time. Like I said, he's been working out at ConocoPhillips for 33 years, and I've been working where I'm at for about 7 years. And with that being said, hopefully by this time next year, neither one of those are happening. So just a little bit about myself, and that's why we got involved with this business, ACN. And the other reason that we got involved is because our grandsons, we want to spend time with them. We don't want to spend it working all the time. We want to be with them every day that we possibly can, because they don't stay little for very long. Okay?
That's right.
Not to mention we want to be with each other. So with that being said, I would like to introduce the top executive here in the Panhandle. He started his business here pretty much by himself. He did not have anyone else close who was able to help him. He had to rely on friends further away, which luckily we didn't have to do that. He is tearing up this business here in the Panhandle, and I want to introduce the man with all the answers, Jerome Price.
Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate that. I tell you, if you are lucky enough to be in their team or working with Jennifer or Dale, you are very lucky. These are some of the hardest working folks in this business. They know what they're doing. They're coachable. That's number one. So just give it back to Miss Jennifer Ropen. A little bit about myself. My name is Jerome Price. Been self-employed most of my life. That's my father taught me. If you want to have wealth in life, you have to be self-employed. You can't get that working for someone else, building their dream. So I was fortunate enough to understand that, and I've had, just like Miss Jennifer was talking about, I've had several businesses. But you know what I found out is I didn't own the businesses owned me. And if I went on vacation, well, my pay stopped. If my employees went on vacation, I still paid them. That was pretty insane to me. But I saw this opportunity and just could not believe what I saw. So I'm excited to present it to you tonight, show you what we're doing. What we'll do here tonight is just designed to give you enough information to make a decision, if it's for you or not. It's not a big deal. We're here if you like it, if you don't. Either way. So we're just glad you're here tonight, and we'll go through some information real quick and show you what we're doing. The name of the company is ACN. We're an international services provider. Started in the U.S. in 1993. It means we're over 21 years old. We didn't just start yesterday. We're not trying this out. It works. 21 years proves that it works. We're in 24 countries on 4 continents. We just opened our 24th country, which is Mexico. We're extremely excited about that. Mexico already has 20% of direct sales already coming out of Latin America. And we are estimating the next 3 to 5 years opening the other 23 Latin American countries, which will double us in size. It's a huge thing that we're getting ready to do. We did over $700 million in revenue and growing. 700 million. Millions of customers. The world's largest direct seller of telecommunications, energy, and other services. We are already the world's largest. Less than 1% market share. What does that mean? That means there's still 99%. If you go out here and talk to 100 people, you might find one person that's our customer. The other 99 are available to become a customer. That's huge potential right there. You believe there's still opportunity? Yes or no? Exactly. Still opportunity. Our company's been featured in all these magazines: Inc. Magazine, USA Today, Direct Selling News, Wall Street Journal. You know, as being a business owner, any other traditional business owners in the room? Well, if you owned another business and your business was written up in Wall Street Journal, would you call your mama? Absolutely, wouldn't you? But we've been in all of these magazines. Success from Home, our 8th year in a row. Not just once, not just twice, but 8 years on the cover. We're extremely excited about that. Not only that, Donald Trump is our endorser. We were on the Celebrity Apprentice twice, 2009 and 2011. Incredible deal to have him endorsing our company. The headquarters is in Concord, North Carolina, 140,000 square feet on 17 acres, debt-free. Don't owe a soul a penny. We own everything there. And all these flags you see there, that represents all the countries that we are in. These are our headquarters around the world: Canada, Australia, Netherlands, Poland, South Korea, and the new one we just opened up in Mexico City. So what do? Services we offer: home phone service, cell phone service, internet, gas, electricity, all the services that we pay every month out of our house. I mean, you know, as one of the businesses I own, I was a contractor. Anybody in the room pay a contractor this month? How many here have a cell phone? Yeah. That's the reason I got so excited about this business. They could have made $0 off of anybody here this month as a contractor. But someone who has a cell phone, every one of you is a potential customer. That's what I got so excited about. They say, how do we get these customers? That's really simple. It's called relationship marketing. We don't just go out and try to mass market like everybody else does. Media advertising, mass mailings, or internet marketing. What I did, I called my mother. Oh, Mom, hey, I just started a business. Can you do me a huge favor and be my customer? She said, absolutely. What am I buying? And that's the way mamas usually do. What am I buying? Don't care what it is, just what have I got to do? So I said, buy your home phone service from me. She said, can I keep my same number? Absolutely. I signed her up as a customer in 3 minutes. You realize she's been a home phone customer for over 40 years? She's been paying a home phone bill for 40 years every month, and somebody was making a percentage of that every month. Now she become my customer, and now every month when she pays her home phone bill that she's saving $18 a month on, I get paid. So for the last 37 months, I've been getting paid on a bill she was paying anyway. The best part, do you think a telemarketer is going to call her and get her to switch her phone? Absolutely not. Why? Because she's my customer. She's helping her son. She's helping her grandchildren. So that's why we have such a huge opportunity is relationships. That's the way we do it, relationship marketing. So we got a quick 2-hour video. Just kidding. Everybody get up and leave. Kidding. Just a 5-minute video to give you some more information. What I want you to look for are 3 things. Number 1, the services that we offer. Number 2, who endorses our company. And number 3, the way that you can be involved and the way you can earn money on these same services that everybody has to pay until the day they die. Please give the video a hand.
It's happening right now in millions of homes and businesses around the world. Someone is surfing the internet, cooking a meal, or turning on a light. Someone is sending a text message, watching TV, using a credit card, and someone is definitely making a phone call. Just imagine if you got paid because someone did any of those things. These essential services represent the largest and fastest growing industries in the world, exceeding $1.75 trillion annually. And now, you can be a part of it. How is this possible? Well, most service providers spend millions of dollars on traditional advertising to attract new customers and to try to keep the ones they already have. ACN instead works with people just like you to go direct to the customer, eliminating the high costs of advertising. And the result is more choices for consumers and a remarkable business opportunity for you. Through ACN, you can build a successful business of your very own by offering people an alternative on the services they are using anyway. ACN has attracted attention in very high places and among the world's most successful business leaders. One such leader is billionaire entrepreneur Donald J. Trump, who has built his career on recognizing and taking advantage of exceptional opportunities when he sees them. After personal invitations from Donald J. Trump himself, ACN was featured on 2 episodes of The Celebrity Apprentice, NBC's hit reality television show.
ACN has a reputation for success. Success that's really synonymous with the Trump name and other successful names. and you can be part of it.
Founded in 1993, ACN has grown to 24 countries on 4 continents, with offices throughout North America, Europe, Asia, and the Pacific, creating a solid foundation that will stand the test of time. Our success has been profiled in Fortune magazine, USA Today, The Wall Street Journal, US Business Review, Direct Selling News, Success Magazine, and Success from Home magazine. Inc. magazine ranked ACN the 22nd fastest growing company in North America within our first 5 years in business. ACN was a pioneer in capitalizing on the deregulation of the telecommunications industry. And today, we are the largest direct seller of telecommunications and essential services in the world. Now, we are doing the same thing in the emerging deregulation of energy services, which is nearly $600 billion in North America and has created a modern-day gold rush. ACN continues to grow by providing more choices on the essential services millions of consumers and businesses already use and will continue to use every single day. Essential services such as phone services, wireless services, natural gas and electricity, home and business security and automation, television, internet service, computer support, and credit card processing. Everyone uses at least one or more of these services. In fact, these are the services people simply won't live without. So, what does all of this mean for you? It means an opportunity for you to own your very own business with the total support of ACN behind you every step of the way. For starters, ACN has developed and will provide, host, and maintain your very own personalized storefront where you can direct people to go and shop for all their essential services. One key component to our winning business model is how you get paid. At ACN, you can earn residual income. Every time someone becomes a customer of these essential services through your personal storefront and pays for their monthly services, you get paid month after month, year after year, for as long as they remain on the ACN service. And every time you acquire a new customer or help an existing customer add a new service, you give yourself a raise. But that's just the beginning. Introduce others to ACN, show them how to get customers through their own personal storefront, and as their customers use ACN services, not only does their monthly residual income grow, so does yours. There is no limit to the number of customers you can acquire, and no limit to the number of people you can introduce to ACN. At ACN, if it's on, you get paid. It's really that simple.
You have a great opportunity before you at ACN without any of the risks most entrepreneurs have to take. You have the ability to market breakthrough technology before it hits the critical mass. I've experienced the opportunity that exists when you're able to jump ahead of the curve, and ACN gives you that opportunity. Believe me, it's ultimately a dream come true.
The time is now. Do not miss your chance to work with the leader in providing essential services. ACN, a proven giant positioning you for success in the next big opportunity.
I found there are 2 types of people. Those who take action and those who let opportunity pass them by. Which one are you?
All right, you can see what we got so excited about when we saw this business. And what I'm excited about now is to introduce a gentleman to tell us how the money is made in this business. This man has been my mentor from day one. When I first saw this business, a friend of mine, just like someone introduced you, he was the regional director at the time, and he's the one that mentored me and taught me. He's now our regional vice president. You know what I've always known is if you want to do something in life or business, you need to find a coach who has done it. You know, you're not going to go to somebody who's never done anything and ask them what they think, because they've never done it. So we're lucky enough tonight to have someone here in the room with us that has built this business to a super successful level. And now they're here to teach us exactly how they did it and what we need to do. So if no further ado, I'd like to introduce Regional Vice President, Mr. Damon Lee.
Awesome. am excited to be in Amarillo. You know, I get to come through. You guys are like, really? No, I really am. I actually come through, you know, every once in a while. My wife and I and my kids who actually live in Dallas-Fort Worth, but I'm originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I'm very familiar with Amarillo because we always stop at the IHOP off of I-40. That's like our halfway point, right? We stop, get breakfast, and then you know, chug on along to Albuquerque. But I'm very, very excited. Can we give it back to Ms. Boeing and Jerome? They do a great job opening up. I'm so excited to have them, you know, officially down in Amarillo and build on this area because it's wide, wide open. And we're really just getting started. So my role, very simply, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm just going to share some information with you tonight. Before I do so, if it's okay with you, can I tell you a little bit about myself? Yes. Is it okay? All right. So, you know, you heard about the Boeings and they own businesses, which is awesome. And you heard about Mr. Price, he owned businesses, which is awesome. So business people really see it fast. But I don't own a business. I didn't come from a business background. I was an employee. Anybody relate? So it's cool. That's where I came from. Matter of fact, I came from the airline industry. So the only really skill set I could bring to the table is I could open up soda cans with one hand. That's it. Okay. But what ended up happening was, as you guys know, 9/11 happened. My wife and I just moved out to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, working with, at the time, the largest airline in the world. And we ended up taking a 33% pay cut right after 9/11. Now, how many of you agree 33% pay cut of something is not good?
Yeah.
Right? What ended up happening was my wife worked for the same company. She took the same pay cut. So how many agree? If two people take the same pay cut, same company, it's really not good, right? Yeah. So that's where we found ourselves. And I was flying about 130 hours a month. You know, a lot of times when I tell people I was actually flying and working 130 hours a month, the first thing that come to mind, they go, "What? That's no big deal. I work 40, 50 hours a week." Well, this was actually 130 hours in the air. So I was only home about 6 days out of the month. So my schedule working in the airline was I would actually go out, I'd fly for 6 days, I would come home, pack my bags. I'm a golfer, right? So I'd want to go play golf. My wife would be like, "Hey, if you're going to play golf, play in the yard," because the grass was like that high. So I would, you know, do what I had to do and then be gone again. And I don't know about you guys, but I was burnt out. I was stressed out. I was looking for something different, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Although I didn't own a business, I grew up in traditional business in Albuquerque. My mom owned a restaurant, and if you Chinese restaurant, you probably guessed that, right? In Albuquerque, New Mexico, it wasn't a PF Chang's, it was a Wong's Chinese cuisine. And my mom instilled in my brother and I the same thing that Jerome heard, was, hey, if you ever want to make the money you deserve, you've got to be in business for yourself. Now, like Jerome, I understood that, but one thing I watched my mom do is she literally worked 8 to fame. I played football in high school, and some of you are thinking, no, you didn't, and yes, I did. When you're 5'8", you have to run fast. Like a 4.340 back then, right? Not now. But during my whole high school career, my mom never actually came to watch me play one high school football game. Now, did she want to? Tremendously, she really did. But do you understand, when you own a business and it's a restaurant, when is the busiest nights? Friday and Saturday. And we're in Texas. We're doing high school football play. Friday and Saturday, right? So she couldn't afford to close the restaurant to come watch me play. So learning that, I never wanted to do a traditional business because I didn't want to be locked into it and miss the things that my kids were doing. So I went another route. I became a crew member, working for the airlines, serving sodas. Had a lot of time, no money. And I kept working and working and working. And I got to a point, maybe some of you guys can relate, where I got to the point where I was just broke. And I don't mean broke like I couldn't pay my bills. My bills were paid, I had food on my table, but I had nothing afterwards. And after the pay cut, I said, there's got to be something different. And I had a friend of mine who was extremely, extremely wealthy. Matter of fact, he owned a bank, he had his own jet. And I asked him one time, I said, listen, how did you get to where you are? Because, I work hard, I've got a work ethic, I'm doing all the things that I was told to do. I'm with the company, I'm putting in hours, I'm putting in overtime, what am I doing wrong? And he shared something with me, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you today. And if all you do is get this out of what I'm going to share with you that I got, it may just help you understand. So when I understood him on how to make money, it changed everything. So let me share with you what he shared with me. He goes, Damon, here's the thing. He goes, if you want to have success, and if you just don't want to be rich, but you want to be wealthy, you have to do opposite of what 95% of the people do today. And I said, rich, wealthy, isn't it the same thing? He goes, no, Damon, it's not the same thing. He goes, rich is when you have money, but you have no time. Does anybody know those traditional business owners? Right? They've got some money, but you always know where they're at. Right? If they're at their business, they're there. And if they're not at their business, where are they at? At home sleeping. Right? They're not at home sleeping, they're back at their business. Right? So he goes, Damon, wealth is when you have time and money together. So he goes, what you've got to do if you want to create wealth is you got to do opposite of what 95% of the people do today. You go see 95% of the people, Damon, they're good people, they're hardworking people, but through generational thinking, they've been taught what? Go to school, get a degree, go work for a company, 20, 30, 40 years, retire. How many people are seeing today things change? And people that gave 20 years, 30 years are being replaced by someone that can do less, get paid less to do the exact same thing, right? People's 401ks are turning into 201ks, right? So what we're seeing is, he told me, he goes, Damon, they're good people, they're hardworking people, but you got to understand, it's what we call modern day slavery. I'm like, modern day slavery? He goes, yeah, see, they exchange hours for dollars. He goes, Damon, they make linear income. So if they go to work, they get paid. If they go to work, they get paid. But guess what happens if they don't go to work, Damon? They don't get paid. He says, so they're always having to work in order to make money. Therefore, they can never stop working. Okay? And he goes, the thing about them, Damon, they're good people, they're hardworking people. But again, have you ever been to a freeway? I live in Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm like, we got a lot of freeways. And they look like that. He goes, see, Damon, you can go to any freeway in America at 6 a.m. and guess what? You see that. He says, they're all going one direction. He goes, at 6 p.m., they're all going the other direction, just a little bit faster because they're going home, right? But they do it 6, maybe 7 times a week. He goes, Damon, they're what we call W-2ers. I'm like, okay, W-2 meaning, yeah, like, W-2 tax. He goes, no, W-2 stands for they work twice as hard. He goes, the thing about it, Damon, is a lot of these individuals are what we call poor. I'm like, well, that was me. He goes, no, you got to understand what poor means. And he goes, poor means they pass over opportunity regularly. He goes, David, it's not hard to be successful. There's just a lot of things. He goes, but people just get caught in this mindset that this is the only way to do it. How many people realize that the old way of doing it is kind of changed, right? So when I understood this, he says, David, you got to become a 5%er. He goes, see, the difference between the 95%ers and the 5%ers is what you see at the top, what you call system. He goes, David, system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. He goes, the challenging part is the 95% of the people, they're taught to work for the system. He goes, the 5%, they actually own the system. He goes, have you ever heard of a company called Microsoft? I'm like, yeah, of course. He goes, see, Bill Gates doesn't work at Microsoft. He created the system of Microsoft. He has all the CEOs, VPs, and all them working for him, the engineers, and guess what Bill Gates does? He goes and does what he wants, right? He works on his foundations, right? So he goes, David, if you want to have success, you've got to own a system, not just work for a system. And he goes, the difference on the system is this. He goes, there's 2 things that have to be in place in order for you to create wealth in a system. He goes, number 1, you have to find a way to get paid on things that you can do one time and get paid over and over and over again. He goes, number 2, you have to find a way to get paid on things that you don't personally do. Okay? And I said, okay, that makes sense. He goes, see, Damon, you can't create wealth working 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day in a 24-hour world. You can't do it. And how are you going to get paid, create wealth when you only get paid for what you do? Right? He goes, these individuals over here, they're rich, but rich on that side stands for residual income creates happiness. Okay? So when I understood this, ladies and gentlemen, it just changed the way I thought of making money. And I was very fortunate, and after that, as someone introduced me to ACN, kind of like you guys got introduced. I got the call from a close friend. He was a pilot for American Airlines. And all he simply said was, Damon, are you open to making more money? And I said, Doug, you know me. Of course I am. I said, but what is it? And here's what his saying to me almost 11 years ago. That's how long I've been a part of the company. He goes, how would you like if every time someone paid a long-distance bill or dial-up internet, you got paid? I'm like, a commission? That's awesome. He goes, not once. I'm talking every 30 days when they pay the bill. Now I was like, I never heard of that before. So I looked at the information, guys. I got fired up. I got excited. I called my brother. My brother was a 13-year engineer for a company called Intel. How many people have a computer and has an Intel chip in it? That was my brother. So I called him up. I said, Kim, I found a way we can be in business together. You don't have to quit being an engineer. I don't have to quit flying for the airlines I can't afford to because, all the pay cuts. I said, but we can do business together. You don't have to move to Texas. I don't have to move to New Mexico. And he's like, what is it? I'm like, listen, I'm not going to explain. And he's like, tell me. I'm like, I can't. Because, see, they taught me really quick just to introduce. And I said, I can do that. Because here's the way I looked at it. I said, my brother's older. I'm younger. He's an engineer. I'm a flight attendant. He makes 3 times more than me. How many people would agree? He's not going to listen to his younger brother. Right? Right? So I said, I ain't explaining nothing to you. I said, just listen. I said, I believe when you hear what I heard, you're not going to be able to sleep. My brother looked at the information, long story short, came on board. 2.5 years in, we retired him from 13 years as an engineer. Okay? I was fortunate. My whole goal was just to make an extra $1,000 a month. And then it turned into I wanted to retire my wife because we wanted to have kids. And the only way we would have kids, if I stayed in the airline industry and she did as well, is I would be home when she was gone and she was home when I was gone. So we would never see each other. Raise kids and never see each other. I mean, anybody know people like that? Stay-at-home moms and stay-at-work dads, right? I didn't want to do that, or we would have someone else raise our children, and that wasn't an option as well. Fortunately, 8.5 years ago, I was able to retire her, and she now stays home with our 5-year-old and our 7-year-old. And she works twice as hard, right? Moms know what I'm talking about. She works twice as hard. But we've been very fortunate, guys, and you know, I get to have the opportunity to come into living rooms, sit over cups of coffee, to sit in rooms like this, and just share what the company has done for us, okay? So that's my story, guys. I'm going to jump into some information now on how all this works. What we do is extremely, extremely simple, okay? There's 2 ways we get paid off of bills. Now, how many people are excited that we have a way to get paid off of bills? And maybe if you've ever looked at a home-based business, because who wouldn't want to work from home, opposed to dealing with traffic and all that stuff? How many of you have ever looked at a home-based business and it was some type of product? It was a vitamin, lotion, potion, bulletproof pantyhose. It was something. Right? And now listen, I have nothing against product companies because there's some amazing companies out there that have really kind of paved the way for our industry. But for me personally, I didn't want to have to go to my friend and say, hey, listen, you should buy this product. And then only get paid off that product when they reordered it every month. See, even when it was just long distance, here's what I knew in New Mexico. My mom paid a local phone bill that had a long distance bill attached to it. And she paid it every single month, regardless, because she had money aside to pay her bills, right? Sure or not, today, people have money aside, allocated aside to pay their cell phone, internet, TV, home security bills, every single month. So the idea of getting paid over and over again on a bill really got me excited, okay? So how can we get paid off billing? Here's the first way. It's what we call personal residual income. All that simply means is this. Anyone that we refer to becoming a customer of any of the services that Mr. Price went over, we can make anywhere from 1 to 10% of the bill every 30 days. Okay? Every 30 days. Now, here's the thing. Here's a hypothetical example. People always ask, 1 to 10%. Nobody wants to know about 1 or what's in between. Everybody wants to know how to make 10%. Rightfully so. Okay? So here's a hypothetical example. Let's just say you got started in the company. You started referring some services. Okay? Now understand, 60 services is the example that we give you. Services is not anyone in this room. Services is what Mr. Price showed you in box number 2. Meaning this. How many of you have more than 1 service coming out of your house today? Yes. I'm 7. Okay? I'm 7 services out of my own house. All I decided as we started rolling out all these services is that if I'm going to pay it, why wouldn't I pay myself a percentage? Right? I'm going to pay it forever. Why not pay myself something? Okay? So our company says 60 services. So that might be 3, 4, 5, 6 houses. It might be a couple of businesses. But here's the example. You referred 60 services, and it had an average monthly billing of those 60 services of $40 a month. Now, who in here has a $40 a month bill of anything? Very low, right? We're shooting low. If you multiplied 60 times 40, that would generate $2,400 a month in revenue, in billing revenue to our company. Our company would turn around and pay you 10%. That'd be $240 a month residual income, over $2,800 a year annually. Okay? Now, nobody's jumped up and said, sign me up. I'm ready to start my business. Because $240 is not a lot of money. Sure or not? True. But here's a question. If your boss left $240 out of your check, would you say something? Yes. 100%. What if you walked outside and saw a $100 bill on the ground? Would you pick it up? How many of you would be like me, if the wind was blowing, you'd chase it? Absolutely, right? See, the key is this, guys. It's not the amount. It's the fact that it's residual. Meaning you're going to get paid over and over again. Who could use $240 extra dollars? Yes, sir. Would that maybe change the zip code? Would it maybe upgrade your car? Right? It would do a lot of things. Would it maybe pay some of your bills so you didn't have to have a bill anymore? Right? It's how we actually create the income. Now, that's exciting, but our company has something that's very, very exciting, not only for us business owners, but for our company. We have, for our customers, we have something called Strive for 5. We have a number of services phone, internet. The one I'll talk about right now at the top is cell phone. How many of you would be blown away, excited, if you never had to pay a cell phone bill ever again?
Yes.
Would that be worth it right then?
Yes.
Okay? Our company created a plan where Mr. Price probably told you about. We have our own cell phone company called Flash Wireless. Okay? Own company, we own it. Here's the beautiful part. It runs on 2 of the largest networks here in the United States. A company called Sprint. Anybody heard of them? Anybody have Sprint like me?
Yes, sir.
We have also Verizon. Anybody have Verizon? Excellent. So we have Sprint, Flash Sprint, and Flash Verizon. Same network, same coverage area, bring your phone, same phone numbers. Here's the kicker. Sprint, unlimited talk, text, internet, $47 a month. Verizon, unlimited talk, text, internet, $67 a month. Okay? Here's what our company says. You refer 5 people to our company, and they save money, your service is free. I want you to think about that. Do you know of a company out there today that will give you free cell phone service? Will make you a referral. My wife and I with Sprint, we paid $160 a month for 2 lines, unlimited everything. $160. We went from 160, same phone numbers, moved it to Flash Sprint, same coverage area, 105 with tax. As a customer, am I excited?
Yes.
Better believe it. I saved myself $60 a month. But now if you think about it, our company released where our customers can actually get free service. So I want you to think about this. If you went to somebody, you just helped them, like I did on myself, save $60 a month. Do you think I would be more excited as a customer if you told me, hey Damon, since you save $60 a month and you're with Flash, if you just refer 5 people, your $100 bill will go away completely? Do you think I might tell some people?
Yes.
Now I want you to think about this. If you're the business owner that just got me as a customer, and I just referred 5 people to our Flash Wireless customer, you just picked up 5 customers that you don't even know. Are you okay with that, making 10% off of their bill? But what if those 5 people got excited and referred another 5 people? You realize you just bought another 25 accounts that you don't even know, making 10% off of that. What if you had it in a home phone? What if you're in a market where we do energy? Anybody know people that live in Dallas-Fort Worth? How about outside of Amarillo? Right? The beautiful thing is this. When you become an independent business owner, it doesn't matter where you live. If you know people anywhere we offer the services, it's open because we don't have any boundaries. Okay? So, free service. Now let's talk about the second way we build a residual income. It's called overriding. Okay? I didn't understand overriding. I understand that if I went and got customers, I could make up to 10%. I didn't understand overriding. Here's what my friend said. He goes, Damon, think of franchising. How many people have heard of a small company called McDonald's? Right? How many people would agree that McDonald's makes the best cheeseburgers? Not at all. Right? I mean, anybody can make a better cheeseburger than McDonald's. But why is McDonald's a multi-billion-dollar company? It's not because of their cheeseburgers. It's because of that system I talked about of selling the cheeseburgers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
See, all that happened is McDonald's and Ray Kroc got together. They said, man, we have a great way of selling cheeseburgers. Let's find people like Mr. Martin that want to sell cheeseburgers through our system. We got him set up at McDonald's in Dumas. McDonald's makes the most, he makes the most money through his McDonald's, but if I'm the corporation that franchise, what do I make? A small percentage of his store. So do you think McDonald's became a multi-billion-dollar company because of the original McDonald's in Illinois? Or because of the thousands of franchises that they tell people start? How many people agree when you're driving down the road, if you miss McDonald's on the right, you don't have to turn around because 5 minutes later, that's what I'm right? So we have the ability to actually share this opportunity with people that can come on as business partners with our company and with us. And as we teach them how to refer people to the services that we offer through our online storefront, the company will turn around and pay us anywhere from 1/4 up to 8% of the customers they refer. Okay? Now here's what I can tell you. When you get paid off bills that you refer, it's amazing. When you get paid on bills that you didn't refer, it's godsend. It truly is. It truly is. Let me kind of give you some numbers. Okay? Let's just say you guys are the you. Okay? Here's how it works. You know Jerome and myself. You call us up. You share this information with us. We say, man, this is amazing. We want to make some extra money. If we can get paid off bills, we'll become independent business owners. We're your partners. Okay? Are you okay with that? We become your partners. We land on your first level. Now, today, my brother and I, we override thousands and thousands of customers. Jerome and his organization override hundreds, if not close to thousands of customers. Here's what I can tell you. Are you okay if every customer we brought to the table, you got a 1/4% of?
Yes.
Absolutely. Why? Because they didn't know you, right? See, my mom signed up over 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago, on long distance, not because she heard of ACN long distance, or she heard of my friend Doug. She signed up because it was her son. And here's was my sales pitch. Mom, I need a huge favor. You're paying a long distance bill. I started a business because of our pay cuts. If I could be competitive, maybe save you some money, would you support Sun opposed to supporting Quest, local long distance? And guess who Mom loved more? Right? And then I had kids and I locked her and I said, Mom, if you don't continue to be my customer, you're not seeing your grandkids. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. If you knew my mom, she's pretty fast with the shoe. But that's the concept. So for 11 years now, signing her up one time, we've been paid over the last 11 years on her bill. Does that make sense?
Nice.
So let me go through this with you guys. Let's just assume that you showed myself and Jerome. Now, do you think we might know some people that you don't? 100%, because you know people we don't. So we turn around, we introduce 2 people that join our team. His introduced 2 people that join your team. You went from having us with our online stores, plus your online store, but now you are 4 online stores. How many online stores do you guys have open now, including yours? 7. 7. So true or not, anytime you have 7 stores can bring in more stuff than 1 store, right? You see how this works? So what if we just taught people to find 2 people that like the concept of getting paid off bill and how to get free service? And they introduce 2, that introduce 2, that introduce 2, that introduce 2, that introduce 2. If you multiply that out, that's how it would come. You'd have over, if you added all of these up, you'd have over 250 online stores. Here's the question. How many people did you actually introduce it to? 2! Jerome and myself. And we just did the same thing. We introduced it to 2. Then introduced it to 2. Then introduced it to 2. That's it. Okay? Here's some numbers. Let's just assume each of those IBOs, all they did is refer 20 services. 20. I'm 7 out of my house. Would you agree 20 is not a whole lot? Right? So they all introduced 20 services through their online storefront. The average billing was still $40 a month. That would generate over $11,000 a month in residual income to you every 30 days.
Very nice.
Okay? Hypothetical. 100% right. Here's what I can tell you. Nothing works perfect. Okay? When I saw 11,000, I was like, man, that's awesome. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I never made 11,000 before ever. 1 month. I'd take like 3 months. Right? So he goes, well, if you get this 50% right, you'll still make over $5,000 a month. I said, that's awesome. That still takes me like 2 months. Here's why I got involved. I said, man, you're telling me if I screw this thing up 90%, get it 10% right, I still make an extra $1,000 a month? On top of the customers I personally refer? How many people can get excited about that?
Yes.
I want you to think about it. An extra $1,000 a month. Listen, there's people that make literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in our company. I'm not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. What would it do for the average person here in Amarillo if they just had an additional $500 a month coming in on a bill that someone cannot pay off? See what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. And we're just getting started here. So, let's jump into some more information. Becoming an independent business owner. So, we are not looking for employees. I truly doubt you're not here looking for a job, right? You're looking for a way to create an additional stream of income. And that's important. Because understand this, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. My mentor said, Damon, how are you going to create wealth with 1? Right? So it's about creating an additional stream of income, starting your own business. Okay? So you can start your own ACN business, where literally at a touch of a button, you become an authorized dealer from all of those providers that you saw in box number 2, not only here in Amarillo, but in all the states in the United States, and in 24 countries you do business in. Everything's up and running. Touch a button, your storefront's open, you start referring services, you start building residual income. Okay? So, my mom spent $150,000 to start our restaurant. $150,000 up front. Tables, chairs, napkins, all those things she had to pay up front, hoping people liked our food, and to make money. It took us 10 years just to get out of the red into the black. Okay? So when I looked at this 10 years, almost 11 years ago, with long distance dial-up internet, you know how much I paid to start my business? $499. I said, is that like every month? Customer service? He goes, no. The company does all the things that you don't want to do. Customer service, billing, representative support, marketing support. You don't do any of that. So he goes, Damon, all you do is you refer people to become customers, and if you choose to, teach people how they can get paid off bills as well. Today, our company, Donald Trump endorsement, 24 countries, multiple services, wireless, energy, opportunity, $499 one time. Okay? Now here's what I can tell you. Business owners understand this. Most time employees don't. If you are just an employee, do you realize you're giving money away every single year? Because you're W-2, right? So you have no tax advantages, right? So no matter how much you work, guess what you pay more of? Taxes. Most of it goes to our least favorite uncle, Uncle Sam, right? See, my mentor said, David, when you have a business, you have tax advantages that an employee doesn't have. Matter of fact, David, he says the $499 you pay to get started, when you go do taxes, you'll make that back because you started a business for $499. So up to that point, I was using my W-2 income, my job, to build my business, so therefore I got more money back through my job by having a business, right? So I tell people all the time, there is no reason why someone wouldn't do this, because you're going to make money by just having a business. Does that make sense? But the company sets you up, everything's in place, we get you up and running. Now, we have positions in our company. All you simply have to do is follow these arrows, okay? First thing we do is very simple. We help you get qualified, which is nothing more than getting your first 3 customer accounts. And of those 3 customer accounts, you can be as many as you want. One has to come outside the house. So do you think you might know someone that loves you or owes you a favor that we can get as a customer?
Yes.
Please say yes. I had a gentleman one day, he's like, I don't know 2 people. I'm like, it took 2 to get you here. How'd you get on this planet, right? So we gotta get you one outside the house. That's it. When that happens, you're now qualified to make money. Okay? Our goal is to get you to the first position of ETP. All that means is you've got your 3 accounts equaling 7 points, and here's our role now. Here's the question we ask you. It's simple. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know you can introduce to us? We can explain this to them so they can hear it 100% the way you're hearing it, and they can make a simple decision. Make money or save money. If they want to make money, fantastic. They can become a partner. If they just want to become a customer, fantastic. They can save money, and it goes towards your 10%. So how many people agree, make money, save money on both parties is a good thing, right?
Yes.
So the ones that want to make money, fantastic, we look for 2. Once we find those 2, we do something called duplication, which we just simply teach them how to get their first 3 accounts. They become qualified, you become an ETT, now you can make a 3rd way of income, which is through our bonuses, up to $3,000 a month, and upfront bonus money for getting customers, okay? Now, executive team leader, all it simply is what? 3 ETTs. That's it. We help 3 people do what we just did. We get promoted to the executive team leader position. The difference is bonuses go up to $7,000. Okay? It's a push-pull system. Meaning as you help people reach where you're at, you get promoted. How many people just love that concept?
Yes.
How many people would love if that's how they did it in corporate America? Where they said, listen, I got to make sure you can feed your family. Because if you don't feed your family, me being your boss, I don't feed my family. How many people would love that? How many people agree corporate America is a little different? Right? They're like, hey, listen, do good, Jennifer. Do good. We've got quotas to make. I need you to do good because I need to look good. But don't do too good because she might take my job, right? So then all politics comes into play. We tell each one of our business partners, let's go. I hope you pass me. Because if we can feed your family, we'll be okay on this end too. Okay? So it's a push-pull system on how we do the business. Now, executive team leader, guys, it's very simple. If you notice, again, it's helping 3 people do what we did. I just tell people this. How many people know how to get to your house? If you don't know how to get to your house, just raise your hand anyways. If you know how to get to your house, can you teach me how to get to your house?
Yes, sir.
Yes. That's all we do is we teach the same thing. So I just want to recognize, if you're an ETT or an ETL, would you please stand up? You recognize? Can you give them a round of applause? All right. So the next positions, guys, team coordinator. Bonuses go up to 25 grand. Regional director, it says plus because you get the team coordinator bonus and the regional director bonus. RVP, you get the team coordinator, regional director bonus on top of that. SVP, we just call that seriously very paid. For some reason I asked them one time, I said, why come we don't put the number here? They said, it's called enticement. I'm like, enticement, what is this? It's enticing me right there, right? But here's the thing, guys. These positions, people ask all the time, how do we reach them? We reach them by helping people become ETTs. Couple accounts, 2 partners, couple accounts. We just do it over and over and over and over again. As you do that over again, it's how you get pushed through a compensation plan, okay? Now, we have a training and support system in place. How many people just like the idea of creating a residual income? You just like that term, residual income. Okay? Our company has a bonus in place today through the month of August. If somebody gets started with our company, there's an additional $750 on the table that someone can earn in their first 30 days by just starting our company, getting a handful of customer accounts, introducing a couple people, and get just a couple accounts as well. How many of you, if you invested $499 and you made $750 within your first 30 days, would say it's a good thing?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You make $499 back, and now you're $250 in the black. We have individuals that are doing this in 7 to 14 days. We've got people do it in 72 hours. We have people do it in 24 hours. We have a system in place to teach people how to do that, okay? So here's what's going to happen. People fall in 1 or 2 categories, either number 1 or number 2. Number 1 says, man, this makes sense. Damon, you and Mr. Price never had to talk. When I saw the video and people were getting hit in the face with dollar signs, I was in. That's a number 1. You see an opportunity? Fantastic. We'll get you a representative agreement form. This is what it looks like. Welcome to the team. We'll show you to get started. If you're number 2, that means you're just a customer. If that's you, that's okay as well. What we want to do is before you leave, will you fill out one of these for the person that invited you out so we can help you save some money? Is that okay? And you'll be helping that person out by supporting their business. And I know it sounds like just a service, but it truly will help them reach their dreams and their goals of why they got involved in this company. And we'll help you save some money on top of that, okay? I would encourage you, if you just want to become a customer, be a partner anyways, and become your own customer. Because they told me right after that, Damon, all you got to do is find people better than you. And that's what we've really been able to do, is find people better than us and teach them a very simple system on how to have success. What I'm going to do really quick, guys, is I'm going to jump into a quick start training. This is only going to last about another 15, 20 minutes. But how many of you would love to know how, in the first 30 days, you guys can make an additional $750 and be positioned to make an extra $3,000 a month in your first 30 days? Anybody? Yeah. Okay, let me show you how to do this. Very simple. The first thing we do when someone gets started, we want to know, determine your why. Why are you wanting to start a business? What is the reason you're wanting to start? Is it for income? Is it for time? So you get time back? There's a lot of people in our company make a lot of money, they just have no time. Is it because you're passionate about a church, you want to be able to stroke a check to your church, whatever they need? Is it about change? You just need a change in where you're at. Whatever it is, guys, you have to determine why you want to start a business. The reason why it's so important is because you're going to have ups and downs, just like in life. And if you have a strong reason why you're doing the business, all the challenges you go through won't make a difference. And here's a very simple example. If we were standing on top of a building right now, and it was say 80 stories, and there's a 2x4 right across from this building to that building, and there's $100 on the other side of the building, how many of you would walk across that 2x4 from one building to the other building if the wind was gusting at 50 miles an hour? Anybody? No, not at all. Now here's a question. What if it was the same building, same gusting wind, same 2x4, but here's the difference. That building was on fire, and your kids or someone you love was on the other side. Would you go then?
Yes.
100%, right? See, you have to determine why you're wanting to start a business, guys. And here's what I tell you. If you weren't interested, you wouldn't have shown up. If there wasn't something that you wanted better for you or your family, you wouldn't have shown up. But determine what it is. The second thing you have to do, guys, is be coachable. We have a proven system on how to help you have success. People sometimes they join our company like, hey, I want to try this way. And I'm like, listen, in almost 21, 22 years, in 24 countries, if that's the way to do it, we would be showing you that. How many people agree? Right? So we have a proven system on how to have success. So when you come in, just be coachable. And here's the reason why. The person that invites you, the person that's going to be working with you, every single person that's going to be helping you, if they give you wrong information and you do things wrong, they take a pay cut. So their income is attached to your success. So do you understand, they're going to teach you the right stuff that we've taught over and over again in 24 countries with all different cultures. It's interesting because sometimes people, when we sit down with them, they go, well, you don't know people in this state. Or the people in this town are different. Here's what I can tell you. Everybody wants a better quality of life. Right? So just come in, plug in, be coachable, and let us show you how to have success in our company. Number two, the third part, guys, is have long-term commitment. Okay? Commit and don't look back. See, when my brother and I started this company, our business, over 11 years ago, we signed that application not to get started. We signed an application to finish. Okay? So just commit to having success. And if you do that, and you just keep following our system, you can have success. The last part, guys, is understand the objective. The objective is to teach you, through your contacts and through their contacts, is how to create that distribution of online storefronts of customers getting services. Okay? You're going to get some services, but a majority of your services will not and should not come through you. They should come from people that we show the business to and teach them to get customers, and on and on and on. It's that McDonald's on every street corner philosophy that we're looking to build for you. And I promise you this, every single one of you know people that are a regional vice president in our company, like myself, they just haven't heard of the opportunity yet. Through our system is to teach you how to find them, okay? Now, here's what you can expect. You like the concept of getting paid off bills. You like the concept of like, hey, it's a no-brainer. If I'm going to pay this cell phone, who wouldn't be interested? Why would someone be interested in making more money, getting paid off bills, having unlimited income potential? Who wouldn't be interested in that? Here's what I can tell you. There's people out there that aren't interested in that. And you're going to be like me. You may go out, leave here if your spouse is at home. You might go to your best friend. You're going to leave here, and you're going to call them up, and here's what you're going to say. Oh my gosh, I found an amazing way we can get paid off bills, and you can get free service. And here's what you're going to hear, like my friend said. Ah, tried one of those things before. My brother's cousin's uncle, nephew's coworker tried those things, they don't work. They lost $10,000. How'd they lose $10,000? It's $500. How many times did they sign up? I couldn't figure it out, right? But here's what I can tell you guys. There's people out there. They're struggling. How many people know people that you hear this? Oh, hump day. Yes. TGI Friday, right? Thank goodness it's Friday. Oh, it's the weekend. Yay! Oh, it's Monday. Right? I can't stand my job. I can't stand working with them. They don't pay me enough. Is there people out there? Yes or no?
Yes.
Those are these people. They're trying to pull their life with square pegs. And we have an opportunity. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to show up. You're going to say, hey, listen, I found a better way. I found a better way. And here's what they're going to say. No thanks, we're too busy. And sometimes people think, oh, well, then it's not right. This is what I can tell you guys. If it's not for them, it doesn't mean it's not right. It's just not for them. See, here's what I can tell you guys. I had friends and family that I shared this with that didn't join. I had friends and family that were negative. They said, those things don't work. No one ever makes money in those things. And here's what my mentors told me. He goes, Damon, those friends, those family, do they write you a check every month to pay your bills? No. Then he says, you know what? Then their opinion doesn't matter. He says, their opinion doesn't matter. He goes, David, all those people that said these things don't work, these businesses don't work, do they own a business? I said, no. Then he goes, David, if they don't own a business, how are they giving you an opinion on a business if they don't own a business? He goes, they can't. He says, David, here's the thing about it, is instead of your friends and family that are struggling and you know this could help, instead of them borrowing from your courage because you're doing it, instead of borrowing from your courage and following you, it's easier just to try to rip you down to bring you back to where they are. Does that make sense? How many people heard that the saying, misery loves what? Company. You know what misery also loves? They hate to lose company. Okay? So understand, people are going to be out there. Okay? There's 7 billion people on this planet. Do you think you might be able to find 6 people? Because you only need 6 people that want to become a regional vice president like me, to become a senior vice president, to make ridiculous money. Okay? So don't be freaked out if your closest people don't see it. Especially if you're the one explaining it. Okay? So I want you to think about this. The person invited you out, how hard are they working right now? Thank you. Why? Because it's by design. Okay? It's designed for you just to come here the correct way. You only remember 10% of what you hear. Your friends know you for you, and I'll get to that in a minute. But just understand you're going to run into that. So my mentor said, David, are you going to listen to people that don't know anything about business, that aren't having success? Because he says, because if you do, if you buy into their belief, you buy into their lifestyle. He goes, David, why don't you listen to people like this? How many people recognize these people? This is a multi-billionaire by the name of Warren Buffett. He owns 2 home-based business network marketing companies. Okay? He says right here, energy deregulation will create the largest transfer of wealth in the history ever. Okay? How many people understand state by state by state is deregulating their gas and electric? You don't have it yet, but you guys understand it's coming? Who's your electric company out here? Excel. How many of you guys love Excel?
No.
You don't have a choice, do you? They give you horrible customer service.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, guess what they say? Light a candle. Well, what do you think happens when competition comes in?
I don't like it.
And you give people a choice to leave them and maybe pay less. How many people would choose choice?
Yes.
Listen, when we launched long distance and we rolled into local phone, there was people that said, I don't want to be with Quest, period. I don't care if I have to pay 10 times as much. I just don't want to be with them anymore. And that's going to be the same thing that happens here when energy comes. Now this gentleman here, he's made a few dollars, right? I love what he says. He says the richest people in the world look for and build networks while everyone else just looks. This guy, you guys recognize him, right? I mean, the guy's trying to get people into outer space. He owns like 200 businesses. And this gentleman here endorses our company. So are you going to listen to multi-billionaires saying this is a great industry, this is a great company? Or are you going to listen to people that don't know anything about business? That's the difference. Okay? Now, let's take advantage of this bonus. Here's what we do. It all starts with launching your business. Launching your business. Okay? So when you get started, in the first 7 days are the most important part of your business. This is where we're actually going to sit down with you. We have a one-page document, and it's step by step what your role is and what our role is. And we're going to walk you through and help launch your business. Here's what we tell people that are the sponsors launching. We said, listen, if you're not willing to launch someone correctly, either get someone else to do it or don't sign them up, because we don't want people to have a bad launch. Okay? And if the new person's coming on board, we tell them all the time, listen, if you're not willing to be launched correctly, don't sign up. Just become a customer. Because see, when you launch your business, guys, we've got to get it up and running.
Yes.
Okay? And we want to do it at a fast pace. Now, is it always going to be full fast pace? No, it's just those first really 7 to 30 days. We're going to help launch your business. Think of an airplane, right? Any people, do you guys understand on an airplane, if you're flying from LA to New York, 80% of the fuel used from LA to New York is used on takeoff? Did you guys know that? Think about it. 80% of the fuel from LA to New York is used on takeoff. The other 20% is spread out for the trek across the country, right? So if you get in a plane, and if that pilot doesn't get it 100% throttle, if they only get it 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 95, 99, they only get it 99% on takeoff, do you know where you end up? It's called the trees. You on the runway. That's not a good place to end up, right? So we say in those first 30 days, guys, those first 7 days is the most important part. We want to launch your business. You know, in the airline industry, you guys remember the safety demo? What is the first thing we teach you guys? How to fasten your what?
Seatbelt.
And you guys were riding in cars, I'm sure, but we still teach you how to fasten a seatbelt. Why? Because here's what we know. During takeoff is the bumpiest time. When we get to cruise, what happens? It smooths out. So the bumpiest time, the time where we need to launch your business in the beginning. So we're going to show you how to do that. Okay? This is what a document looks like. Regardless of which document you use, they're all going to teach the same thing. Okay? Here's our goal. When we get you started, our goal, and you want to do this immediately, is you want to become a qualified team trainer. This is where you get 7 points, and we help you get those 3 preferred services. Okay? Encourage you to be as many customers as you possibly can. We'll help you find one outside the house, but you want to get qualified immediately, because you can't start making money until you're qualified. So if you can't make money until you're qualified, do you want to get qualified now or later? Now. So get qualified immediately, we'll show you how to do that. Okay? Now, customer source will come from yourself, people that we show the opportunity to that don't become customers, and then later on it's going to come from referrals and other individuals. Right now, just focus on yourself immediately, and we're going to show you how to just get 1 or 2 customers outside of your house to get you in a position to get qualified. Okay? Now the Strive for 5, we already talked about that. Getting free service. We have people that are literally getting free wireless service in 30 days from starting our company. Okay? Now here's what's interesting. Did I pass one? Okay. Here's a strive for 5 for customers. It's going to impact, because obviously the IBO is going to create more referrals. It's going to impact the customer because of the annual savings. If you think about it, if people just didn't have to pay a cell phone bill, what difference would that make? If you're spending $70, $80 a month, that's almost $800 a year in savings, right? And then of course, the future, our company's going to start bundling where not only can you get energy, but internet, TV. It's going to be to the point, guys, where we're going to create this rewards program where customers have the opportunity to get rid of all of their bills. What would it mean if you just didn't have any bills? The essential stuff. How much money would that release to you to do other things, right? Very, very exciting. Now here's what's interesting. We're part of a foundation called We'll Play for Food Foundation. And if you guys may or may not know, but there's literally 17 million children here in the US that have no idea where the next meal is coming from. And every time we as IBOs go out, refer someone who becomes a customer, it feeds a hungry child here in the US. And we share that all the time. Matter of fact, it's on our customer storefront. And here's some statistics. 88% of Americans said if given the opportunity, they would buy services with a social benefit. That goes to like the We'll Play for Food Foundation. 84% of Americans said they would tell their friends and family about a company with social benefits. It's amazing that we have the opportunity to go to someone and say, listen, every month, Jennifer, when you pay your Flash Wireless bill, a child's being fed. And today, guys, we fed over a short period of time close to 500,000 children. And our goal by the end of this year is to feed 1 million. Okay? So, big social benefit there. We'll Play for Food Foundation. If you hadn't had a chance to see it, go take a look at it at your friend's online storefront. It's on there. Okay? Now, how many people want to know how to get customers? Yes. People get customers. We have a very simple philosophy, and it starts with, can you do me a huge favor? Our co-founder, Mr. Tony Kupis, said, people don't want to be sold, but they do want to help people by doing them a favor. Okay? How many people agree that friends and family don't like to be sold, especially by friends and family? Right. But what we found out over 22 years of business is most people want to help people out. Okay? So when we ask someone to become a customer, we're not a salesperson. So if you don't like sales, congratulations, you're not going to sell here. See, when I called up my mom, all I asked was, Mom, would you do me a huge favor? And I just told her why I was doing it, asked her if it would support her son. Did I have to talk about pricing? Absolutely. But the beginning wasn't about the sell, it was about helping me out. Now, how powerful is that? How many people have ever moved furniture? Have you ever helped somebody move? You help them move? Would you say people help people move because we like to move furniture? Or would you say it's because of that person? It's because of that person. So the people that get the most customers understand this philosophy, and they lead with, hey, would you do me a huge favor? And then we go into all that stuff, okay? So the key is, have urgency, passion, favor, relationship, and the We'll Play for Food Foundation, okay? Again, we have a script. We'll go through all of this with you guys as well. Now, here's the script again. It kind of goes into the same thing. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because when we sit down, we're going to teach you the favor approach on how to get customers. Now, our goal is to get you to the position of ETT, and all that simply means, again, is you've got your customers. Now we're going to help you identify the people that you know. So what we're going to do to help you identify who's going to become a customer or a business partner, the first thing we do is we're going to help you create a list. The reason why you want to hit this position of ETT immediately is it creates a story for you. It puts you in a position to make bonuses. It gives you the ability to go to a next level training. But more importantly, it's about duplication. See, people say, David, you have a great presentation. And I'm like, thank you. If you said the same thing over and over again for 11 years, you would be pretty good as well. How many people have sang their favorite song? Yeah. And it doesn't take you 11 years, and you know all the words, right? So what I learned is this business is not about the best presentation. It's about who can duplicate the fastest. Who can teach people a very simple system, and who can do it the fastest. And that's what we're going to teach you, okay? So how are we going to help you identify people to become business partners? First thing we're going to do is we're going to say, make a list. Make a list of everybody that you know. We say make a list of 100 people. People say, I don't know 100 people. I say, sure you do. Pull out your phone. I promise you, you do. See, a list of 100 people is not 100 people you think will do the business, or 100 people you think will become a customer. It's 100 people that you know. Because the good thing is everybody that you know pays a bill, and I believe if it had the opportunity, heard the right way, would want to get paid off of it. Okay? So once you create a list, We're going to present the information to them, and the way that's done is through presentations. Whether it's a home presentation, which is the most effective, all that means is this. You're going to call some people over to your house, your living room. An expert's going to come over to your house, your living room, and share the information. 100% by far the best way, because your friends, your family are comfortable in your living room. We're not dressed in suits. We might be in jeans, sports coat. It's a very laid-back approach to get people the information. Okay? The other way is through presentations like this, two-on-ones. You could use a website, a webinar, a conference call. But the main point is this: your whole goal, guys, is not to present the information. Your whole goal is simply to invite. To invite. And when you invite, you want to have excitement, conviction, and urgency. All this other stuff down here, it all changes based on who you're talking to. The only part I tell people they want to focus on is getting this part correct. Okay? Because you're going to invite people to come hear the information. So the first thing I would do if I was calling on, sir, what's your name? Solomon. Solomon's my friend. I call up Solomon because I want to share the information. I say, hey Solomon, listen man, do you have a minute? We're role playing. Solomon, do you have a minute?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Why am I asking Solomon that? If Solomon's at work, or if he has kids, if he's cooking and the fire's burning up his food, does he have a minute? Absolutely not. So there's no time to go into it. But if I say, hey Solomon, do you have a minute? And he says, yes I do. Fantastic. Then I can go into the next question. And let's just say I'm having a home presentation, today being Tuesday and Thursday. I'd say, hey Solomon, do you have anything major going on Thursday at 7:30?
No, not right now.
Perfect. He said, no, not right now. Why am I saying key words? Do you have anything major going on? How many people agree major is not like watching reruns of Friends? Dancing with the Stars. Right? And if I say, Solomon, do you have anything major going on? Does Solomon think, well, there's got to be something happening big? And he said right after that, no, I don't. So since he said, no, I don't, I continue on with the script. The script may be, hey, Solomon, you know my wife and I, we've been working in the airline industry for all these years. We took a 33% pay cut. Just tired, sick and tired of being sick and tired. We started looking for ways to make more money. I know you've talked about that before as well. Listen, we're having some people come over. We're expanding a business here in Amarillo. Thursday at 7:30. Can I count on you coming for about 30 minutes? Fantastic. He said yes. Okay? Now, did I explain it? No. I just invited. I asked the question. Because it's a question, I got to wait for what? A response. Do you have a minute? Yes. Do you have anything major going on? No. The only thing he can say is yes, no, or maybe. When it comes to major things, right? If he says no, yes, I don't even continue. Oh, all right, Solomon, never mind, I'll call you later. If I said major going on, and he says yes, I do have something major going on, and I say, oh, I'll call you later. What do you think he's thinking now? What's going on?
Yes.
How many people have heard this saying, curiosity what? There's the cat. Right? Now, if he says, I don't know, I don't continue. I say, do me a favor, Solomon, check your schedule and get back to me. Well, what about? Check your schedule and then get back to me. Okay? You see how that works? So if it's something other than a yes, if it's a no, maybe, what is it? I say, check your schedule and get back to me. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm not explaining to Solomon is because Solomon knows me. You guys understand that? Okay? So he knows what I do for a living. Right? So if I'm in the airline industry, I'm serving sodas at 34,000 feet. He knows about I'm in the airline industry. So Solomon asked me, hey David, how many bags can I bring through security? And I told him, knowing what I do for a living, would he accept that information?
Yes.
Absolutely. Even if he was a multimillionaire, stay-at-home mom, if he asked me something that regarded the airline industry, he wouldn't be a stay-at-home mom. I'm just saying. Solomon looked at me like, dude. But do you see what I'm getting at?
Yes, sir.
He would accept it because he knows that's where I come from. Here's what I can tell you. Your friends, your family know you for you. Regardless of what it is, they know you for you. And if you give them information based on what you do, because they're asking information for what you do, they'll accept it. But here's the thing about it. Solomon knows I don't know anything about this. But what do? Solomon, here's what it's about. You get paid off billing, blah, 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 blah. Solomon's my friend. He's listening to me, but he's going like this in the back of his mind. What do you know about that? Right? Or he says, dang, Damon, you did really good. I can't do what you did. Or if he's a business owner, like a lot of business owners see it, dang, Damon, you're going to do well. I don't have time to spend 30, 40 minutes on the phone like you did. But if all I did was invite Solomon, and Mr. Price explained the information, regardless of if he could speak good or had no time, can he do what I did? Yeah, because Mr. Price can say, hey, well, Solomon, you like it. Can you do what Damon did? Well, of course. What did Damon do? He just called me up, invited me over, and you shared it. Exactly. The person that can do it, duplicate the fastest, makes the most money. Okay? So understand, when you go out, you got to get excited, you got to be urgent, and you just got to invite. Guys, you understand most people aren't excited about anything today. And if you're just excited, they just want to know you're excited. I had a visitor that came in, and this was his, he was like this. This is how we talk. Hey, man, how's it going? I said, listen, you got to get excited. He goes, okay. How's it going? So here's what I told him. I said, listen, when you call, just say you're excited. That's what he did. Hey guys, what are you doing? Listen, man, I'm excited. And his friends were like, wow, he's excited. Because he said he was excited, right? So we have a system in place, guys. All we're going to do is teach you the script. Matter of fact, when we launch our business, we're going to do a little role playing. And you're like, oh, I don't want to role play. Oh, yes, you do. Because the hardest part is just getting your mouth to move the way it wants. McDonald's role plays. When you pull up, what do they say? They have a script. Thank you for McDonald's. Well, you know, can I take your order? Right? Yeah. They have a script. You have a proven script to help you have success. You just have to be willing to follow it, okay? So, when people show the information, they're going to be yes, questions agreeing, or no, they're not looking for an opportunity, okay? Oop, I went fast. Okay, perfect. So, the system of support, guys, is in place for you to have success. It's in place for you to have success. Duplicate without experience or skill. How many people, again, you were invited out here today, how hard is the person working that invited you out? Whether it was the presentation or the training today. See, my mentors at Damon, if you could just get good at bringing people to see the information, you could go all the way to senior vice president. That's all you've got to do. He goes, Damon, all you got to do is become a taxi cab driver. He says, just put people in your vehicle and bring them out. Put people in your vehicle and bring them out. And then when you get a lot of people, you become a bus driver. You put more people in your vehicle and you bring them out. Then the person in front of the room is going to share the information. Is that easy? Yes or yes? And we're going to teach you that. You know, I've had the opportunity to work very closely with the leadership out here, guys, and you guys have one of the best leaderships out there. And this market is brand new, and it's wide open. How many people live in Amarillo? You guys have a number? No, I mean, number-wise. There's more than this. 300,000 people.
Yes.
300,000 people live in Amarillo. What about in the surrounding towns? 500,000. Let me ask you a question. Out of 500,000, if we just got 1% of the cell phone customers of 500,000, what would that do for each and every one of you today? Who's good at math? 500,000, 1% is what? 5,000 billing customers going through your bank account at 10%. What would it do? Here's what I can tell you guys. The people that are going to make the most money in our company here in Amarillo and in the surrounding cities haven't even heard of ACN yet. They haven't even heard of us yet. You want to hear something great? Someone in this room is going to introduce them, or someone in this room is going to introduce someone that introduces them, and they're going to join our company. Because of that, you'll benefit for the rest of your life. You're going to meet someone that owns this hotel, or owns multiple hotels, and they're going to find they can get paid off a credit card every time someone checks in at a hotel desk. They can create that into revenue, and they're going to join the company. But because you introduce them, all the credit card billing that's going through their business is going to go to you as well. It doesn't matter who you are. We just have to find the right people. You just have to find people better than us, or me. That's what I was taught. Okay? Now, why are events so important to your business? See, events create belief. Okay? Events create belief. If you're a business owner today, did it create a little more belief in what you're doing today? If you're looking at ACN for the very first time, but when you walked in to this moment right now, do you have a little more belief in our opportunity? Yes or yes? Okay? So, events create belief. Here's what belief does. When you have belief, belief gives you energy. People that are in ACN, people that are looking at ACN, if you like what you hear, how many of you have like a little more energy, like you want to go invite some people to come see what we're doing? Yeah. See, events create energy. See, when you have energy, energy creates action. And when you take action, action creates results. And then after results, when you get results, guess what happens to your belief? It goes up again. And it's just a cycle. over and over. So every time you plug into events, whether it's something like this, our team calls that we have on Sunday nights, our international conventions, guys, it creates belief in what we're doing. And that keeps you going on. Guys, let me give you another analogy. You guys will understand this unless you're too young. I'm 39. See this here? How many guys remember the racetrack when you were a kid? Remember you put it together? It had a loop, maybe two. At the end here, it had a little motor going. And you put that little car, and it would shoot it around, like Mach 1. It'd go through the loops, and right before it died, it was running out of steam, what would it hit? That little motor again. And what would it do? Pew! It'd shoot it around again. And it'd come around and hit it again. Pew! Shoot it around again. That's what training events do for us. Because you know what? We live in a negative world. How many people run into some negative people? See, sometimes you need to come in and get refreshed and refocused. I relate to like going to church. Man, some days I have bad days. I'm like, I don't even want to go to church. But when I come to church, guess what? I'm like, hallelujah, amen. And I'm fired up. Until next week, I come back around, I'm like, I got to get back to church. Right? The same thing. Events will help build your business. You got to be willing to learn and willing to plug in to the system. Okay? So, here's the events. Here's the type of events that we have. International training conventions, team calls. Just plug in everything you possibly can that's going to help you have success. So guys, with that said, that's information we want to share with you. We're very, very excited about this area. We're very excited. We're just looking for the right people. People often come up to us and they say, oh, this person's trying to get me in. And I have a very simple philosophy. I only want to get you in if you want in. Because if you've ever done something and invited someone to something that you love that didn't want to be there, have you guys ever done that? You tried so hard, you finally convinced them to go with you to this movie, to this restaurant, or to on a vacation. And once they came, all they did is complain. And all you can think to yourself is, why did I invite them? Why did I convince them? So we quickly learned in our team, guys, we're not looking to convince people. If I feel convincing to you, it's only because I know what it can do for people, because I know what it's done for us. Will it take work? Absolutely. Will it take time? Absolutely. The question is this, are you working hard now anyways? So if you're going to work hard, would you not work hard for yourself and not for someone else, and truly be in control of what you can do, opposed to giving someone else control and letting you go when they felt like it? That's all we want people to understand. It's not about you quitting what you're doing, it's about you creating something outside of what you're doing. And you may be like me. When I looked at this ACN opportunity, I didn't have $499. In fact, I felt like I did. And how many of you guys have friends that tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear? That was my friend. Here's what my friend said. I said, Doug, I love it. I just don't have $499. Here's what he told me. He loved me. He says, Damon, let me ask you a question. 3 things. Number one, how does that make you feel? He says, you're 28 years old. You've been working for how long? Since your restaurant, to the airline? You've been working for how long? And you're telling me you don't have $499 of discretionary income? Because let me tell you something, Damon. What you're doing isn't working. He says, number two, how long have you had this problem? And most importantly, what are you going to do to fix it? And guys, let me tell you, it wasn't something I wanted to hear. How many people understand? Sometimes when people love you, they tell you what you need to hear. And it made me think. And I said, you know what? I'll find one. And I did. And we got a credit card. OPM, other people's money. All they would give me is $500 limit. I said, that's okay. I'm gonna have $1 extra. It's only $4.99 a month. And I got started. We had a bonus like this. I went to work. I followed the system. I made that money back in the first 30 days. Paid off the credit card. Right? So what I tell you is this. If you see an opportunity, guys, don't let $499 stop you. I said to the gentleman the other day, he goes, man, $499. If I spend that, I'll be broke. I said, if spending $499 makes you broke, what are you now? Right? I said, you're broke. Stroke a check. Let's go change it. Right? So whatever you got to do, we'll figure it out with you. All we're saying is if you want an opportunity to do something big, to change your life, to change your family tree, there's not going to be a better place to do it than what our company is doing, guys. We're not on trial. People always tell me, David, I want to research you. I'm like, what are you going to find that Donald Trump couldn't find? What DirecTV, Sprint, all these major Fortune 500 companies couldn't find? What are you going to find about us that's not going to be right? You can't go into 24 countries without countries looking at you. You guys understand that? I said, that can't happen. But see, the unfortunate part, you know how most people research?
Yeah.
Google. You know what Google is? It's a bathroom wall. Right? You can write anything you want about anybody. I tell people all the time, Google something and just put scam next to it and everything will come up. Santa Claus, scam. Christmas, scam. God, scam. College, scam. It doesn't make a difference. It's all on there. Right? See, they put blogs. My pastor says blog stands for basement living opinion giving. Okay? So the research has been done. All you have to be willing to do is just step out of your comfort zone with us next to you and just walk with us and help you build this business. It might take time. I don't know what your journey is going to be. It took us 10 years to get regional vice president. There's people that are doing it in 2 years today. There's people that are doing it in a year. That might not be you, but how many of you would love to introduce that person?
Yes.
Right? Go, 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 and cheer them on all the way. Because you're getting a little percentage. Okay? So if that's you, you want to get started, talk with us. You have questions, anything outside of this, you know, about the process, what the next step is, talk to one of the leaders. We'll get one of these in your hand. We'll help you get started. Okay? You can join the team. Now, just want to become a customer before you leave, do us a favor, just fill this out. Name, phone number, all that stuff. We're just going to look and see if we can save you some money. Is that okay as well? Excellent. Guys, so that's our presentation. We appreciate you coming out. Thank you guys so much for sitting up here and laughing at my corny jokes. But you know, we're just very passionate about helping people. And if you see an opportunity, we'd love to lock arms with you and help you guys build a business, okay? So with that said, guys, thanks for coming out. God bless, and have a great evening.